Greetings and blessings. Welcome everyone to One Love Center for Spiritual Living. I am Rev Rod and so glad to have you with us, have you back with us. And we just love being here, doing what we are here to be, to do, and have a great time. We're going to start, as we usually do, with our opening song, Choosing Heaven, today. And just as a reminder, or maybe you're hearing this for the first time, please feel free to write into the comments what you're choosing for yourself today. What you're choosing for yourself, well, because we're all one, what you choose for yourself, you're choosing for us all. Thank you so very much. So choose whatever spiritual aspect of life that you desire to have for yourself or have more of. So let's start with choosing heaven today. Greetings and welcome again. What are you choosing? And you are always choosing. So don't be alarmed. Yes, you're always choosing. And we here at One Love Center for Spiritual Living make a choice all the time. We are choosing to live the best life possible and to share that with everyone. And that's our mission, to provide a welcoming, a stable and welcoming community for all who choose to learn, practice, grow, and play in the unfolding of their understanding of spiritual principles and spiritual living. We envision, this is what we see. We envision a world as a sacred environment where spiritual living flourishes through the continual growth and the development of learning and application of spiritual principles. One Love Center practices compassion in service, love in action, and joyous, prosperous giving in the community. Our community is and it has been lovingly created as a place of fellowship, meditation, prayer, sacred and healing service, musical celebration, classes, workshops, and spiritual films. So we say to all those who are here for the first time and for all of us, welcome. We recognize the splendor of the infinite divine spirit that is you. Please know that we support you in being the best you choose to be in this glorious life. And we thank you for celebrating spirit with us today. Welcome to One Love Center. Welcome to a place where love grows. And so glad to have you with us. And we're going to start with what we do. What we love to do is pray. It's our affirmative prayer. And we do a opening prayer. I like to call it an evocation, evoking the word of the divine from within. And so join me as we go within into that shared mind, the shared world of oneness, knowing that there is only one. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect, whole, and complete. And it is my life now. The life of God is my life. I am created in that spiritual image and likeness of the one true power. And what's true of me is true of each and every one, that we are all of the one, that there's only one. And with that knowledge, with that awareness, I get to speak this word in ways that each of us get to understand that right now is the time, and every now moment is the time to not just recognize and unify with this awareness and this power, but to speak what it is that we desire. And I am speaking this word right now for One Love Center for Spiritual Living, knowing that it is from the mind of the divine. And at today's celebration, and we are talking about silence. We're talking about raising your voice. Raising your voice and allowing ourselves to move past and to overcome silence, individually and collectively. I am knowing that what is in store in the storehouse of good and plenty right here, right now for this celebration. And I have a wonderful guest joining us as well, Lita Perez. And I'm knowing that each and every one of you is primed and ready to share, to receive, to give the wonderful information that is being offered today. That the right and perfect words are selected, the right and perfect music, that each one of us ones of the one, is ready, willing, and able to participate in today's celebration. Sharing from the heart, from the mind, knowing that there is great good being revealed in today's celebration of life, celebration of love. And so I give thanks knowing that it is all good. And I also want to bless all of the equipment, all of the technology, everything that has anything to do with bringing this wonderful party into action. And so I let it go. I let this prayer go. I let this treatment go. I let this knowingness go, knowing that it is already done. In the mind of God, it's already done. And we get to livingly, lovingly play it out. And so, being that it is done, I let it be. The good that it is, right here, right now, and I affirm it. And you can say it along with me. And so it is. And now it is, right here and right now. Thank you so very much. And um, it's what we have been doing is affirm is prayer, incorporating affirmative prayer. One Love Center has prayer professionals ready, willing, and able to remind you that spirit is full of power, charged and already always within you for your immediate use. You can make a prayer request for support. Use our email, onelove at onelovecenter.org. All prayer requests are kept in the strictest of confidence. If, for whatever reason, there is so much joy and love in your life, you just don't know how to handle it, send us an email, and we will pray on whatever that situation is. That you will have more than enough to pray to handle that love and joy. And if there's anything less than that, if there's conflict and troubling times going on, contact us as well, and we will most certainly uh, continue to pray on it for 7 days. And I also make that request to use that email to let us know when your prayer has been answered. And if it's not answered, let us know, and we will continue to pray. We believe in PUSH, pray until something happens. So yeah, if it's not happening, send us an email, and we will continue to know the truth about that situation. And when it answered, let us know. All right. So thank you so much. At this time, I'm going to invite our guest. And our guest is someone who is well known to many of us. If you don't know her, well, you're in for a treat. This is Maria Perez. I'm in Brooklyn, New York. She is in Ocala, Florida. And she's about a lot. You know, she's spiritually minded, spiritual heart person. She gives a wonderful time and service in the community out there. And she's going to tell you a little bit more about that. And well, go ahead. So introduce yourself to those who don't already know you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Reverend Rodney, for inviting me to be a part of this. I always enjoy helping out in the service in any way I can. I do live in Ocala, Florida. I serve with an organization called Aura Clubhouse. We are a recovery through work program for people who are recovering from mental illness, and we just help them reintegrate back into our society and get back into the workforce. It's a pleasure to be of service in this community, and I really enjoy being here. And I enjoy being here at One Love Spiritual Center.
And we love having you. Okay. And so does the world, because they get the pleasure of your wisdom, of your expertise, and just your spiritual attributes that lend so well and blend so well. So yeah, welcome and welcome everyone. And we're talking about overcoming silence individually and collectively. And yeah, I just want to say, this is really an important conversation because so many of us have been silenced, and it continues to happen in so many different ways. Now, I remember individually as a child, I was silenced. I didn't feel as though I had anything worthwhile to say, and so their way of they, meaning the adults in my life, would say, well, children are supposed to be seen and not heard. And how could I counter? What did I know? So it's just very interesting that how, unfortunately, that action carried so far into my life. Growing up, I was just so used to not believing that I had anything to share, that it was okay if I wasn't heard, and it really did create quite some turmoil in my life. A lot of pent up frustrations. Just a lot of I would like to say unnecessary. However, It's funny because I think that, okay, well, since doing a lot of inner work, it's like, and then becoming a minister, I found I have a lot to say, a lot of meaningful things to say that maybe, yeah, maybe I didn't have anything meaningful to say as a child in a room full of adults. However, uh, we also know that there can be quite revealing things coming from children in the midst of adults. Uh, there is a lot of children have this pure innocence about them that is refreshing. But anyway, that was just my experience with silence. And so we're gonna. And so, what would you like to share, Lita, about?
I think about the word silence, and I was reading Living the Science of Mind, and the
Mhm.
only time that silence is really for our greater good is when we go within and we are silent and we are listening, right? So I've been reading the Living the Science of Mind, and started thinking about the talk that we're having today, the consequences of silence. So even when we are in prayer, there's consequences of that. You get to go deeper, right? And but when you're silent to what is a where the voice has to be heard, then there are consequences to that as well. And so we want to choose which silence are we going to stand by. I'm reminded about that German pastor Martin.
Uber.
Yes, first came the socialists, and I didn't speak out because I was not a socialist. Then came for the trade unions. I didn't speak out. There's such an important thing that brings you closer to your community when you stand up and speak out instead of staying silent, because it's a way of supporting those who are not you, but at the same time, those who are exactly just like you,
Mhm.
right? So that's my
Yes.
little take on it.
Oh, well, thank you so much for that, and that's very important. And one of those ways of being in the silence is through fear. Yeah,
Mm,
when we are kept in silence because we feel threatened, and we have been threatened.
hmm
Uh, yeah, that those consequences, those consequences are disempowering
Yes.
and stifle our courage and our well-meaning, our desires, and they're done by people who are fearful as well.
hmm
People who are fearful of the truth, want to try to control, the truth and control people from speaking the truth.
hmm
However, it's temporary. Yeah, and that's a good thing. Eventually, the truth will be made free,
Right.
and eventually, people will uh, overcome that fear at some point, and yeah, and feel free to speak. Uh,
And it is a fear of not belonging to a
mhm.
certain community or not belonging to a certain group of people, um, and having that fear. I don't want you to think of me a certain way. So you're right. It's fear that keeps us from, it keeps us silent. But if we had more compassion, uh, I believe that this situation, even now in our country, that more and more people I've been seeing really stand up and let them know this is my voice. I'm going to share my beliefs. And that's really good to see. There are a lot of people who are stepping out of fear and
Mhm.
walking into courage and speaking up.
And that is most certainly, uh, what's the word? Well, it's when one person stands up and speaks, it's inspirational.
hmm
I was thinking of another I word,
hmm
and it's hmm, what's the word? It's well,
It'll come to you.
it's like it's not communal. However, it like you said, it creates a sense of belonging because all of a sudden it's like, oh wow, somebody has that same thought. Somebody is expressing that thought where I didn't feel,
Hmm.
encouraged or empowered
Right.
to speak up or to speak out.
I like
Yes.
what you said. One person speaks up and it's inspirational and it reverberates.
Yes,
Person starts and then several people hear it and then more people come into it. It creates a movement.
that's right.
So, yeah.
That's the word I was thinking of, by the way. Thank you. Reverberate.
Reverberates. It's like that
Yes, I
bubble
mean,
that falls
it's
in the water.
and the ripples, the ripple effect. Yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
It's almost like an infection.
And we need to have that person to remind us that,
Mhm.
I can be just as courageous. I can also stand with you. There are others who feel the same way. So the silence starts to break down, and you find that moment where, you're going to be part of a movement that's greater and and necessary for the
And
growth of humanity.
absolutely. However, most of the time, I believe that when that happens, the person is not thinking about everybody else. They're like, look, I need to speak. I need to get this out. Regardless of the consequences, regardless of the effect it has on anybody else. Uh,
Mhm.
yeah. I mean, because it's like leaders are they're not thinking necessarily of leading. Like, I'm not going to do it until there's a whole bunch of people. No, that's not how it works. It's like, look, I need to get this out. And then people hear it and are attracted to that use of energy. And we're going to have some things, quotes to assist us in this.
Okay.
Okay, you start if
All
you
right.
want.
Sure. Vulnerability is the birthplace of innovation, creativity, and change. It requires us to be present and engage with others in a meaningful way, which is crucial to conflict resolution. Let me read that again. This is from Brene Brown, Daring Greatly: How the courage to be vulnerable transforms the way we live, love, parent, and lead. Vulnerability is the birthplace of innovation, creativity, and change. It requires us to be present and engage with others in a meaningful way, which is crucial to conflict resolution. What do you say to that, Reverend Rodney?
Well, thanks. First of all, being vulnerable is very personal.
Hmm.
And we have to do whatever inner work we need to do. During this month, we were talking about breaking down the barriers,
Hmm.
and to do so, that leaves us vulnerable.
Yeah.
And to be vulnerable is actually using strength. We're using our faith. We're using a belief that regardless of what happens, all will be well.
Hmm.
Uh, and so, out of that, creates a space for the innovation, creativity, and change. It's not going to happen until we put down the barriers and allow ourselves to be vulnerable and not vulnerable to attack, but vulnerable to allow
Yes.
for the good to express
Mhm.
and for the flow. And
Yeah.
I think that's really what's important we're looking at conflict resolution,
Hmm.
because you still need a flow to happen. If
Hmm.
somebody is not willing to resolve a conflict, and one person is, then it's not going to happen.
Hmm.
There's not going to be a healthy engagement, which is unfortunately what a lot of people seem to be more used to. Is is conflict, engaging in conflict, and
Hmm.
not the resolution. It's like going to a fight and fighting and then wanting to make peace instead of making peace before fighting.
Right. Right.
To me, that's
Going
conflict resolution. Yeah. So thank you for. And did you have any words you wanted to share about that?
I thought you said it perfectly. Yeah. You know, being vulnerable, there's such a fear about that because that you're opening yourself up, you're bearing all, and you're fearful of revealing too much. I don't want to be vulnerable. I'd rather keep myself closed in and just see how that pans out without having to be vulnerable. So there's that fear, as you mentioned before, of being open and allowing yourself to just show everything.
Yeah, and it's based on what we believe about ourselves and higher power, God, whatever you choose to use, whatever word or description of the allness, the oneness, the creator. If we really feel like God's got my back, on some level, and it doesn't have to be 100%, just enough. Like 51% is enough for me to step out and know that if I'm vulnerable, I'm not even going to think about being harmed. I'm just going to be free to express what needs to be expressed. Yeah. So thank you for that.
Sure.
And so here's another quote. Let's bring this up. It says, "Forgiveness is giving up all hope I love this, all hope of a better past. It's letting go and making the choice to find peace and understanding in the present moment, which is essential for resolving conflicts." That's by Jack Kornfield, The Art of Forgiveness, Loving Kindness, and Peace.
Oh, I love this book. And The Art of Forgiveness, that is probably one of my favorite books that I've read. And forgiveness is not just of forgiving others, but really of forgiving yourself as well, right?
No, absolutely. And it's giving, which is a big part of this word. It's giving. It's in the midst of strife and turmoil and conflict. It's very easy and seemingly natural to put up barriers. It's to want to protect ourselves. And by giving, what are we giving? We are giving that loving kindness. We're giving like the realm of peace to be revealed because it's there. We're just covering up a lot of the times. When we try to protect ourselves, we're covering up the peace and the love and the joy and all those wonderful qualities, thinking that we need to protect ourselves from harm. However, that vulnerability means that, I can forgive myself for believing that the truth of who I am can be actually hurt, can be harmed. The truth cannot be hurt.
We so often live in that past, and in that past, we never get past the past. I love what it says, giving up hope for a better past. It's the better future. When you let go of that, it's the greater future that comes before you, in front of you. So we can't change. The past is already done. Forgive yourself for that. Let go of that. And then know that there's so many greater things coming from that. There's a great lesson in the past, but learn it and then move forward.
Awesome. Thank you. Well, I'll tell you one thing. That could be a sound bite that goes around the world. Well said. Thank you. And I love that the whole idea of living in a present moment. And we need to be vulnerable about that too, because there's a saying that says until we're sick and tired of being sick and tired, then we'll do something about it. But a lot of people wrap themselves in the past moments, reliving it over and over again, expecting something different to happen.
Right.
And we're going to have the same feelings because we have the same thought. It's going to make the same feeling and act like it's still happening, even though it already happened. And we cannot
solve the problem with the
Yeah.
same mindset that started it. You're
Yeah.
not going to solve it with that same mindset. It has
That's
to
right.
change.
That's right. And we need to be vulnerable to let it go to the unknown. Like you said, something new that's coming up, that's happening, that, well, it's not going to happen until we let go of what
Right.
we call the past.
And we're impeding that. We're keeping it from happening by still holding on to that, and the forgiveness not being there.
That's right. That's right. So that is a practice from the spiritual toolbox is forgiveness. Yeah.
Right.
So, make sure you pack that along. And it's not a weakness. That's the main thing for folks to get.
So true.
It's a strength that you use first and foremost with ourselves. I mean, of course, in Miracles tells us about forgiveness,
Yes.
and it's like, so I just love the concept that there's nothing to forgive.
Mm.
Because when you know the truth of who you are, that you are God in expression, that you are made in the spiritual image and likeness of the divine, and that what we call God or the creator can't be hurt, and none of its creations in essence, in our spiritual essence, cannot be hurt or harmed. Yes, our flesh, sticks and stones may break our bones, but the words, never really hurt me, unless I let it attack my ego, and I'm living in the ego and I'm living in the past, what they think about me and all that stuff. No, that really doesn't truly have to affect us. And when we're vulnerable enough, when we're open enough, when we're forgiving enough, and we realize that, wait a minute, that can't really hurt me. No, no, I'm bigger than that. I am, a child of the Most High.
Mm.
So therefore, I have those qualities of
Mm.
the Most High. Can't be touched. I think it was MC Hammer said, "Can't touch this." Hey, it's a spiritual message. Can't
Mm.
touch this. And we realize that no, I have to forgive myself for believing that I could be hurt,
Right.
that who I am, the I am, could
Mm.
be hurt. I'm more than flesh, more than bone, more than skin,
Mm.
more than what I believe my past says about me.
Right.
Or anybody else. No. So where is forgiveness necessary? Like, oh, I forgive myself for thinking I need to to forgive.
Mm.
So that's for another time. It gets a little bit too deep. So
Right.
let's entertain another quote.
Oh, all right.
Please go for it.
The world will persist in exhibiting before you what you persist in affirming the world is. I love Neville Goddard. I've been listening to him all week. The law and the promise. The world will persist in exhibiting before you what you persist in affirming the world is. What you think about, you're going to bring about. What you believe is your truth. So, yeah, the world will persist in giving the same thing. What is that belief? What are you affirming every single day?
And that's the law.
Yes.
And the law, it's a principle. That means it's the same yesterday, today, and forever, and it works. And it has nothing. It says it rain. The biblical saying is it rains on the just and the unjust alike.
Mm-hmm.
It's no respecter of persons. It doesn't care who you are. It just, well, what's your thought about yourself? And well, if that's what you think, well, bring it about. Here it is. This is your proof. It's self-fulfilling prophecies. We do it all the time.
Mm.
It's not going to work out, and then when it doesn't work out, what do we say? I knew it wasn't going to work out.
Right. I knew that wasn't going to happen.
Right. The law is just saying, hey, if that's what you want to talk about, then that means that's what you want to experience, and so therefore, here it is.
And whether you believe in that or not, it's still working.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's whether you think that's true or not, the law works. This is how the law works.
And it's interesting. And that's why we really like to promote taking classes, because that's where you get to find out how the word, your word, works in your life. Important thing to do is, and even if you don't take a class, take it from this little hint right now. Listen to the words that you use. Listen to the thoughts that happen before you use the word.
Mm.
Okay. And don't silence yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to what you're saying, and
Right.
then take your time, like, and then go into the silence and like, okay, is that really what I want to happen for myself? Is that really what I want to happen for anybody else? Because since we're all one, what
Mm-hmm.
happens to one happens to all. It may
Right.
not seem that way, but, on a physical level, because there's time and distance involved. But we all get to feel the exhibition. We all get the experience.
And that was a key word right there. It's the feeling behind the words. It's the vibration that you have as you're speaking and as you're thinking. How are you feeling about that?
Mhm.
We are energy beings, right? So that is so important because people think, okay, so I'll just say these words and everything will work out. But how are you feeling about those words? What's the emotion attached to that? Can you feel joy? Can you feel, exuberance? Can you feel that? Can you be in that? And if you don't, and you're saying these words, but then over here you're still thinking a different way, then you haven't matched the vibration of who you truly are.
Absolutely. Thank you for bringing that up. And that's important. So we're not silencing our thoughts. We're not silencing our feelings.
Mhm.
Allow yourself to feel what you're feeling
Right.
and go into the silence and like, what am I feeling? And
Mhm.
sometimes we have to learn what feelings are. It's not like automatic, So yeah, we get to study ourselves. We get to be vulnerable enough to take a look at ourselves in the silence.
Mhm.
Nobody else has to know. you know.
Right.
But give yourself every opportunity to make whatever changes that are necessary for
Mhm.
for you to live the greater life possible. And here's another quote. Let's bring this up.
Okay. Go ahead.
Change will not come if we wait for some other person or some other time. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the change that we seek. And that is Barack Obama, the audacity of change. He wrote
Hope.
that before he became president. So,
Audacity of hope.
yeah, the
Yes.
audacity of hope. And it's so interesting uh, because change is going to happen. It's going to happen.
Mhm.
However, do we have to wait? You
Mm.
know, do
Mm.
I mean, it's going to happen. It's like the automobile or the light bulb. You know, it took a while for these inventions to happen, and spirit just impregnated more than one person with that idea. you know, but
Right.
it's not up to us to sit back and like, well, I know there's something I need to say, but I'm not going to say it. Let somebody else say it. No,
Mhm.
if we have that idea, it's up to us to
Right.
speak it, to bring it out. It doesn't mean we have to call a press conference. you know,
Right.
maybe with your family, maybe with your friends, but first and foremost with yourself.
How often do we say to ourselves, "Oh, I can't do that right now. I have to wait for this," or "I'm going to wait to, I'm going to wait to have children until I have enough money," or "I'm going
Mhm.
to wait to go to school and until I have, the experience of the work I'm in right now to see what I want. I'm going to wait for this." And in all that waiting, time has passed by and you hadn't taken that chance. So the time is now. And change, as you said, is going to be happening along that
Yes,
time. Are you going to go with that? Are you going to resist it? Or are you going to stay right where you are?
absolutely. Thank you for that. And again, we are the change that we seek.
Mm, mm,
Are you a seeker?
mm,
Are we seekers? Are we looking for that good? And it's interesting because yes, we are.
mm.
Okay, it's like the audacity that I dare you.
Right?
I dare you
Mhm,
to love yourself,
mm.
change yourself. And not the truth of who you are. That a lot of that change is getting rid of that which isn't working in your life.
Right. It does not serve you. Right.
You, is it some of that change might be being silent when you need to speak out, when you need to speak the truth. regardless of whether anybody believes it or not, even if anybody's listening or not, or
Right.
if you can see if anybody's listening.
Hmm.
I mean, in this day and age, we have the social media. We have all these, the
Yes, all these
TikTok
connect
and all of them,
platforms.
and people are speaking up and out.
Right.
It may not always be the truth, capital T truth, for everyone. It could be an individual person's experience of what they believe truth is for them.
Hmm.
Right? And fine,
Right. It's
that's okay.
cathartic, isn't it, to be able to just put it out there and say, this is who I am, this is how I feel. And oh my gosh, I feel so much better having said it.
Yeah,
I finally let myself be vulnerable and share who I am.
yeah,
And
yeah.
feeling like, it's very cathartic to be able to just speak your truth.
And the thing is, if we don't, there is so much inner conflict. I know that I was always looking for an escape
Right.
of how not to be me, of not dealing with who I am, of not feeling like I could express myself.
Mm-hmm.
And all of those ways of escape eventually, of course, led me back to me. But what a trip that was.
Right.
What a journey.
Mhm.
It's like death defying, you
Right.
know, or death inviting. It
Mhm.
was just, it was,
Mhm.
and then I learned to speak up for myself.
Right.
It's
I'd
like,
love to hear from the audience to hear, what is it where was it that you finally opened up and spoke up about something? So
yeah,
share it in the comments and let us know, when did you have that opportunity to really speak up, speak out, stand up and speak your truth. We'd love to hear from you.
and as we mentioned earlier, when we speak up and speak out, it feels good for us. It is good for us. It can be very healing and can also be that way for someone else that sees that, wow, I was thinking that, I was feeling that.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. And
Yeah.
that it's like tag, you're it.
Hmm.
Tag.
Yes.
Now you get to inspire someone else to at least be
Hmm.
vulnerable enough to look within. Because
Right.
that's where it all begins.
Hmm.
All right. And we can and here's a wonderful quote. Go ahead. Please read that.
Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. I love this quote. Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. Oh my gosh, how powerful is that?
Mm.
How powerful that is. That's where silence is not serving, you know. And if they mean that much to you, if things matter to you, hearing your voice about that, and like you said, Reverend Rodney, other people might be waiting to hear that, to give them the courage also not to be silent. What do you say about this?
Well,
Mm.
I, I'd like to not use the word they. I'd like to say that when there are opportunities to speak out because of whatever's being done, maybe it's injustice, uh,
Mhm.
perhaps whoever is inflicting this injustice is just not aware. If
Mm.
nobody says anything, they might actually say, well, I didn't know it was hurting you. I didn't know. I just thought this was how it should be done, and so this is how it's being done. It's like going on in our country now. We have to raise our voice for things that are not working for the masses. Is it working for 1%? Probably. There's a 1%. Are they listening? Yeah, maybe, but people still need to speak out. Like, hey, I don't want to pay $12 for a carton of eggs. I don't want to, have Medicare cuts
Mhm.
or uh, uh, there were
Other situations, yeah.
yes, there's so much flooding in my mind right now about grants and things of that nature that have been cut back that might affect childcare. It might affect somebody being able to get a job because
Might affect mental health, might affect
absolutely
that. Yes, yes.
well, all of that.
Mhm.
However, if people don't speak out, how are the people who are making these decisions going to really know? If
Mhm.
there's silence, they might figure, well, it's okay. We'll just keep doing what we want to do.
Oh, they like the direction we're going in. Yes. So
Yeah, yeah.
it's looking good. So yes, speaking up even then just
I
so
want
much.
to simplify this quote right now.
Hmm.
Imagine you're a little child, even a baby, perhaps an infant, and you soiled your diaper and you're hungry and you don't cry. The parents aren't going to come running to like, oh, what's wrong? What's the matter? You're
Hmm.
just going to sit there suffering with a soiled diaper and hungry. And what's going to happen? Our lives will begin to end very quickly if we don't let somebody know we're hungry. If our environment is soiled, we have to let people know. Because otherwise they just sit back and like, oh, what a lovely person. They
Hmm.
don't they have nothing to complain about. So so important that we do let it be known when there are issues and concerns. That's healthy.
Hmm.
Yeah, we need to do it in a healthy way.
Right. Absolutely.
Yes. And I believe there's another quote we're going to bring up very quickly. Yeah. Inaction breeds doubt and fear. Action breeds confidence and courage. If you want to conquer fear, do not sit home and think about it. Go out and get busy. Dale Carnegie. It's
Yep.
like,
I love that.
yeah, yeah, we don't have to spend a lot of time on that. But however, folks, you've seen this now.
Hmm.
If you're sitting in doubt and fear and focusing on doubt and fear,
Hmm.
then what do you think you're going to get more of?
Oh, more of yes.
Doubt and
Mhm.
fear.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. And fear, the acronym for fear, one of them is false events appearing real. Nothing's happened. It's just a thought. It's a false event.
Hmm.
Okay. So it appears real and it feels real, but it's
But,
not real.
but it's not
Okay. Yeah.
true.
Yeah. All
Right.
right. So I believe we have another quote.
Yes. Oh,
You got
sorry.
it. Please, you do that one.
Silence encourages the tormentor, never the
Mhm.
tormented. Just like you were saying before, and that's Eli Wiesel, Nobel Peace Prize laureate. Silence encourages the tormentor, never the tormented. Just like you were saying, they think everything is cool. They're being quiet, so I guess this is good. Wow. Yeah.
All right. Do we have another one to share? It says we should allow the gifts of life to flow out to everything we touch, everyone we meet, every situation we contact. Then, wherever we go, every situation is blessed, every person is helped, and every discord is harmonized. That's by Ernest Holmes, the founder of Centers for Spiritual Living, Religious Science, the Science of Mind and Spirit. The book Creative Living, page 65. This is the consequence of speaking out,
Yes.
of not being silent.
Hmm.
This is what we get. Every person is helped. Every situation is blessed. We
Hmm.
get to bless people, help people, heal through
Yes.
the revealing of truth. And we speak the truth, and change occurs.
Hmm.
And a lot of that change is just removing that doubt and fear and that which is no longer serving us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. That's great.
So, in order to even make more of a statement, this is inviting everyone to speak their word for themselves and for all, because we're all in this together. And so we'll be on the same page, figuratively and literally, when we do our affirmations.
All right.
So we have some affirmations. I invite Lita to start and end it, and I'll do the middle one. But however, we invite each one to take a breath before each affirmation.
So let's do that. Let's take a deep breath within, shall we? It is so that I am recognizing the divine power in my thoughts and in my voice. Again, let's take a deep breath. It is so that I am recognizing the divine power in my thoughts and in my voice.
Take a breath. It is so that I am developing self awareness and recognizing the root causes of my fears to overcome barriers of silence. Let's take a breath and do that again. Take a breath. It is so that I am developing self awareness and recognizing the root causes of my fears to overcome barriers of silence. Mm.
Taking a deep breath. It is so that I break the chains of silence with courage. My voice empowers myself and others to claim liberation. Let's take another deep breath. It is so that I break the chains of silence with courage. My voice empowers myself and others to claim liberation.
And so it is,
And
and now it is. Yes. So at this point, I'm going to invite Lita back after this prayer, this treatment, as we go within and bring even more affirmation to what we've been talking about, to what's being revealed in ourselves, to what's been shared, and even to what hasn't been shared in the silence. So I am knowing that there's only one power, one life. That life is God's life. That life is whole, perfect, and complete. And that life is my life now. It's the life of each and every one. For all there is one. And so I am knowing that, there is only one. Whether it's one in the silence or one in the speaking out, in the expression of love, of peace, of joy, of health, wealth, happiness, and speaking out in the realm of that which is not working for all. Anything like conflict, expressions of hate and doubt and fear and loneliness, and all the ways in which each one is not feeling free to express their greater good, their greater life, their greater desires. And so I am knowing that, yes, there is the silence of going within to that safe, sacred place within where each one rests and basks in the truth with a capital T of the oneness, of the feeling of secureness, and the feeling of knowing that God is all there is, and that each one being of God, therefore, in reality, has nothing to fear, nothing to fear in relationships. They're able to speak out in relationships, on a relationship with self, relationship with God, relationship with others, because all others are still one. So it's a relationship with the divine, that each one is empowered to speak what needs to be spoken, to speak their word, to speak the truth, and to know that it will be heard and felt. First and foremost, by self, the God self, which is empowered at all times. I am knowing that this is true in all areas of our lives, whether it comes to health or wealth, that each one is free to no longer be silent where it matters, to speak out and speak up and speak into truth that gets to inspire others, that gets to let folks know that, hey, something needs attention, that this matters. And I know that this truth, that this word spoken is the truth. And I speak this word for each and all as one. And I know this word spoken into divine action of the law is already manifesting, already coming true. And it does not matter if anyone does not have use of their vocal cords, being able to speak words, whatever language. We can break the silence in our mind. We can break the silence in any way that we communicate, and letting ourselves and others know that there is a greater truth being revealed through the act of change, through the action in change. And so I allow this word impact the law of divine right and perfect action. The law knows what to do, so I've done my part. I've spoken my word, and I let it be the good that it continues to be, flowing into divine manifestation. And so I know it is so. And so I let it go and let it be right here, right now, and I affirm it. And you can join me by saying, and so it is, and now it is. Right on. Yes. So we're going to call Lita Perez back. She's going
Hello.
to talk about prayer.
All right. Yes. The One Love Center has prayer professionals ready, willing, and able to that remind you that spirit is full of power, charged and already within you for your immediate use. What you just heard was a prayer, an affirmative prayer, and we'd love to be able to help you out. So please send your prayer request to one love at onelovecenter.org. And please know that all prayer requests are kept in the strictest of confidence. We'd love to pray for you. Please send us an email. We'd love to hear from you. Even after we pray for you for those 7 days, we'd love to hear what's happening in your life. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Mhm.
And please know that if you need more time, we'll make that available for you. It is at a fee basis. However, no one is turned away. So
Mhm.
make sure you use us.
Mhm.
This is what we're here for. We are here. This is our mission. We're on that mission, to assist each one in living the best life possible. And this is one of the ways in which we do that. So we want to also give thanks and praise. We are grateful for your donations. Thank you so much for helping One Love Center be here in our lives
Mhm.
uh, for in our 13th year. Yeah, all right. So it's just awesome that we get to do this, and we get to do it with your assistance, with your help, with your donations, with your tithe, with your gift, with your service, all of the ways in that empower us to empower you all. So thank you. And we have an affirmation of abundance,
Mhm.
and just remember that you can use this affirmation of abundance at any time of the day or night. And it says, money of one of many gifts of spirit is good. And as I share my offerings, I know that I am actively creating a space to receive more gift, more money, and more good. And I am grateful for the ability to give and for the good works these gifts do in our center and in our world. And now it is.
Now it is.
Yes, thank you.
We have announcements.
We have some announcements. first and foremost, we're looking for a member or a friend of a member or a member of a friend uh, for technical assistance in managing our broadcast. Please contact us through One Love at onelovecenter.org. That's our email to be of service. Bless you. Thank you. And it's very easy. If you don't know what to do, we'll train you. And it doesn't have to be every week. You can alternate. And we'd love to have you. And it's a
Yes.
way of being of service,
Mhm.
in many different ways. So, we invite you also to join at the Convention of the Americas at Chapala, Mexico, July 22nd to the 26th. So you can connect with Ellen Suazo, start a payment plan at the email address there. It's really stands for Convention of the Americas. Uh,
At gmail.com.
yeah, at gmail.com. Thank you. And I will be there, and I'll be celebrating my birthday there. So come on down and let's party. And
Mhm.
it's a wonderful spiritual time. And it's a really great area. You'll love it. And yeah, it's definitely worth it. Okay, I'm going to announce this again. Beyond limits. You want to
Mhm.
move beyond any limiting beliefs that you may have. And if you think that you don't have any limiting beliefs, well, guess what? That's a limiting belief. So you need to look into, make an inquiry, register for our class, Beyond Limits. Go to our website,
Mhm.
onelovecenter.org, www.onelovecenter.org/events, or email us at onelovecenter.org and let us know if you are interested. Oh, we want to thank you.
I wanted to say something. If someone is not receiving our newsletter, can they also send an email and say, please,
Yes,
to your newsletter? Because we do send a newsletter out to everyone, keeping them informed of what's going on and what we're doing. So please definitely use that same email in order to let us know that you want to be part of our newsletter.
thank you, thank you, thank you. And I just want to add thank you, Ellen Suazo, for
Mhm.
joining us as well. And she's,
Hey, Ellen.
yeah, she is most certainly ready to receive
Hmm.
your not just your inquiry, but your intention to
Hmm.
be a part of the convention. Your intention to be in the convention. All right.
Oh.
Thank you for that, Ellen. Thank you.
Hmm.
And oh, thank you. Yay. All right.
My
So,
pleasure.
um, what else do we have? Do we have any other announcements? No. So and definitely, if you don't get the newsletter, email us so you can see a few more things that are going on that
Hmm.
will also be added to our website. So
Absolutely.
definitely get in touch. Thank you for bringing that up, Lita. So,
Hmm.
final thoughts that you like to share?
I just want to thank you once again. It's always a great conversation. I'm looking forward to hearing more about what we're doing and what we're going to do. That event in, where's it, Mexico, right?
Yes.
Oh gosh, it's something that I'm looking into actually,
Good.
Oh, you asked. So things are happening in my life that are very exciting. Can't share it just yet, but it might provide an opportunity for me to participate in that. And I encourage everyone who's been a part of this or is watching the recording, please send us an email and let us know if you'd like to go to that. It's going to prove to be a very exhilarating and exciting time in your life. Thank you so much for allowing me again, and I'll leave it to you.
Thank you. All right. So, um, I'm just so grateful for everybody who's been showing up and who will watch the recording of this. And we're going to leave you with a wonderful song. Well, after our prayer, I don't know, she disappeared on me, but we're going to do a prayer, and afterwards, we're going to go into our song. It's a very the song is quite appropriate for what we've been talking about, and hopefully, most of you know it already, and you'll get that same feeling. And so, time for our closing prayer, knowing that all there is one life, that life is most certainly showing up as each and every one, and life has a way of speaking up and speaking out. And so I know as we go throughout this day, throughout this week, until we meet again, and even afterwards, yes, you don't need permission to speak up and to speak out. If you do, give yourself permission. And so I am knowing that each and every one is empowered to break their own silence for things that really matter and to be able to go into the silence and to be clear on what matters. And so I am knowing that each one has something to share, there's something to say that makes a difference in the individual lives and for the world. And I'd love to hear about it. Feel free to let us know about it because that's what we do. We get to share it. We use our word, break the silence. We don't have to be alone. We are not alone. And one of the ways we recognize that is by sharing, breaking the silence, and coming into the awareness of our unity, of our oneness, of our love. And it is indeed one love. And so for this and so much more, I give thanks, releasing this word, knowing it is wonderfully seeping into silence that needs to be expressed. And so I affirm it by saying it is so, and so it is, and now it is. And we have a great song. I'm going to bring it up in just a moment. Well, it looks like we have a little glitch. So I'll tell you what.
I have to say, see, we need a tacky.
Yes, we do.
Yes.
What a difference that would make.
Yes.
So if you just give me a moment, I'm
All
going to go for it again.
right.
No. Sing your song. Yes. Break that silence. Sing your song. Your whole life depends on it. Infinite truth. Your whole life depends on the infinite truth that is speaking, expressing as you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Lita Perez. Come on, say hi. Goodbye. Come on.
Thank you so much. I had a great time.
Yes. Thank you all. And you still feel free to leave comments even after this is over. Looks like we might even have another comment. Thank you, Sherry Chastine. Thank you.
Yes.
Appreciate you as always. And Reverend Saba, Wanda. And there are others that I can't see right now. Reverend Madeline, thank you again. Yes. So we'll do it again next week. Peace and blessings.
Peace and blessings.